AITA for demanding my fiancé stop teaching our kids bad manners? Hi everyone, using a throwaway because I don't want this on my main but I would like an outside opinion. My fiancé, Lola, and I have been together for 5 years, engaged for a little over a year, and we have twins, boy and girl, 2.5. Our wedding is in 2 months. Lola usually takes care of feeding the kids in the morning since I work early, and so I never noticed this until recently. I took a week vacation from work to just spend time at home with my kids and Lola and started to notice something that bothered me. Lola has been teaching our kids bad table manners and sees nothing wrong with it. I hadn't noticed this before, as they don't eat this type of food for lunch/dinner/snacks or eat it all the time, so I guess I just missed it as I wasn't home or she fed them other things on the weekends. This morning I was helping Lola make breakfast and then I got the kids ready while she brought their food out for them. As they were getting ready to eat, I noticed they didn't have forks/spoons, so I told Lola I would get them and she said there was no need. I watched instead and she gave the kids tortillas that she ripped into pieces and they were using their bare hands to grab the food using the pieces of the tortilla. I asked her what she was doing and that she should be giving them utensils, but she seemed shocked that I was concerned and said that's how they always eat it. I told her that she was teaching them bad manners and making them think it was okay to just grab food with their hands. She told me they do that anyway when they have chips or grapes or tacos and pizza, and listed a bunch of other snacks and fast food you eat without utensils, but I pointed out that those things are usually made to be eaten quickly or on the road, like fast food, so utensils aren't needed. She said I was being offensive by calling her way of eating gross and saying it was having bad manners, but I do think it's gross to see someone grabbing at food with their bare hands like that. She said she grew up eating like that and would always use tortillas to eat things like eggs or meat/rice/beans, and that it wasn't gross because she always made the kids wash their hands before they ate. I ended up giving my kids forks for them to eat, which they didn't want to use, which made me even more frustrated with her because now they're used to this. Lola has been really annoyed the rest of the day and wouldn't let me help her with lunch, and earlier she was walking around the house speaking to someone, probably her sister, in Spanish about me, and I'm starting to feel a bit annoyed. AITA? Edit, wow, lots of replies quickly. They seem to be mixed so far, but I will add in that the kids can use utensils and use them with foods like soups/pastas/etc. I just fear that allowing them to continue using their hands will make them used to it. Update. Hello, again. I'm hoping so follow all the rules so this doesn't get deleted or anything, but I wanted to post a quick update because I got a big fat reality check yesterday. I admit that at first I was annoyed and defensive that everyone was ganging up on me and saying I was racist/an absent parent/etc. However, surprisingly enough, it was the comments who were trying to defend me and somewhat agreeing with me that ended up changing my mind. At first I was mainly focusing on the 2 to 3 comments in my defense, but as I read more of them I started to realize that they were sounding racist/disrespectful, and then I realized the rest of you were right, and that is what I sounded like in my post. There were a few comments saying something like, "In America that is not normal, but we are not in America," and hearing people say that to me while defending me was shocking to say the least. I don't want to be one of those people who goes around telling people that they need to speak a certain language or do a certain thing because of where they happen to be. I showed my wife the post and she saw a lot of your disrespectful comments agreeing with me, calling her way of eating unhygienic, and she said they sounded like me, which made me realize I was an asshole. For those asking if I had never seen my wife eat like that, no I hadn't, and I asked her why she never did, even though she said she grew up doing it. She told me how a few months into our relationship I had made a comment about someone in a film being poor and weird for eating food with their hands. I do remember having said this, and it is something that I should not have said. She said that is why she didn't eat like that in front of me, but she thought I wouldn't mind if our kids did, as they are toddlers and toddlers regularly eat with their hands. I am doing a lot of self-reflection and have apologized deeply to my wife. She said she needs some time to think things through after seeing the post and my comments as well as everyone's comments, which I fully respect. Thanks everyone for your insight. Update 2. My M32 fiancé suddenly doesn't want to marry me anymore because of a disagreement we had a year ago. What now? Hi everyone. I 32M have been with my fiancé, Lola 32F, for almost 7 years now, and we've been engaged for 2 of those years. We have twins together, MNF, 3, and I thought we were happy. About a year ago we had a small fight/disagreement about how she was raising our kids, but after receiving some feedback from Reddit, I was able to see that I was in the wrong and I was being incredibly offensive toward my wife. This was on a different account that I lost the info for, but everyone was very helpful, so thanks again. I apologized and she seemed to accept my apology, and I thought things were back to normal after all of that. She seemed to be her normal self again and we didn't argue/disagree about that topic anymore. In fact, we hadn't had even a minor disagreement for months after that. I thought we were happy. Well, we were originally planning to get married last year, October of 2023, but she ended up changing her mind and saying she wanted to push back the wedding a bit. I was a bit confused and she wouldn't really elaborate on why. She just said it was stressful to plan a wedding with toddlers and she needed some time, so I agreed. Well, she just dropped a bomb on me out of nowhere a few days ago when she randomly stated that she doesn't think she wants to get married anymore. This was heartbreaking to hear, of course, and I asked that we sit and talk it out. She ended up telling me that she doesn't think we are compatible, after 7 years, and that she thinks we should go our own ways and co-parent. I'm devastated. I pressed for more information, like what made you realize this? And why now? And she basically said that she felt like I didn't really know her and that I didn't want to know her. I thought this was ridiculous. I know everything about her. I know her favorite color, movie, and song. I know her favorite food. I can read her body language extremely well. I do know her. We've been together for years. She said a few more things and apparently, she's been thinking over our relationship since that fight happened a year ago. She said it was eye-opening for her, and that when I let her see the post and she looked through all the comments, she realized things about me that she had swept under the rug for years and blown off as one-time issues. She went on a whole spiel about all these things she had realized about me and how she didn't think we should be together anymore. I don't even know what she means. I think I zoned out for most of her rant because I was so blindsided and hurt by this that I was trying not to break down in tears. I offered to go to couples counseling and individual counseling, but she said it was too late and that I should have done that / offered that a year ago when this all blew up. I don't even know what to do now, and I think it's a bit unfair for her to put all of that on me. Just because I didn't think of therapy after a minor disagreement a year ago, I'm no longer someone she wants to marry? That's insane. I don't know what to do. How can I get her to give me another chance to see that I still love her and we can make this work? What can I say to make her change her mind? I'm so lost and I don't know what to do. Edit, I think it might be a good idea to link the original post with the details of our disagreement, as some people are asking for the details and accusing me of avoiding the question, so the post can be found here. Edit, I feel that you all have given me a lot to think about and reflect on. Thank you. I will no longer be replying to comments.
Relevant comments. Zesty Clothes Bus 3642. Men like this always claim the breakup came out of nowhere, as if they can't possibly imagine why their partner would have an issue with them. Once you learn the context, though, it never out of nowhere. These guys just can't take any fucking responsibility. Rug Crabber. But I am an active parent, continues to tell a story how he's telling everyone he's not active at all because he needed time off work to see how children eat, as if the weekend doesn't exist. This is the type of parent when the mother is out of town for just a bit, the father has no idea how to feed their kids, what they normally eat and enjoy, and calls the mother for every small bullshit thing. Meanwhile, the mother understands what a developing toddler needs and goes out of their way to help this development. And now in this post, when he's talking about how he knows who she is, he's giving examples of the most superficial bullshit. There is no praise on her skill or accomplishments, nothing about her character that made her stand out for him. No, he knows her favorite movies, favorite color, and favorite song. Groundbreaking. His girlfriend gave him a chance, a whole year, and it looks like not much has changed. Good for her to make this decision, although difficult, but probably for the best.
Update 3. I tried to make this a new post but I couldn't get it to show up, so I think I might be doing something wrong. Hi everyone. This will likely be the last post I make about this situation, as everything seems to be final now. This one is made with my ex's permission and she will read over it beforehand, as she thinks I am an unreliable narrator. First of all, we have broken up. She gave me back the ring even though I said she didn't have to and she could pawn it and keep the money. She didn't want to do that and gave it back to me. I think I will pawn it myself and give her the money since she has moved out of the house. She moved in with her brother and his partner, who was actually able to get her a job where he works, and she is apparently starting next week. We will split our time with the kids since she said she was able to get shifts that align with my schedule. I have a pretty flexible schedule, but I just prefer to work the same days/times every week, so we will trade off the kids when each of us is at work and we are going to split the weekends. We are going to get a custody agreement, but we talked about it and agreed to 50-50, and we are both going to be cooperative as I don't want to stress her out and I do want to see my kids. I will also be brushing up on Mexican culture so that I am able to participate in things with my children, and I am looking to take some Spanish classes as well so I can communicate with them in both languages. I showed my wife the last post the day after I made it and she read it over and read all my comments and a lot of the other comments. She took like 2 days to do this. Afterward, she said she wanted to talk and asked me if I was serious when I claimed that I thought she wanted to break up because of the one fight about the food. I said yes, because I was serious and did think that, and she said she couldn't believe me. I asked her to elaborate and she got very mad and asked me if I was really so oblivious to my own actions. I realized that I probably have been oblivious to my own actions, and that I've been selfish, and she kind blew up and said something and asked me if I needed a fucking list so I could see all of the shit I've been doing. I told her I would appreciate if she could communicate some of the issues, and there was no need for a list, but she said that a list would probably lessen the chances of me losing focus while she went on a rant, ouch, but deserved. We ended up having a long talk about it and she wanted me to include this in the post, so I will add it below. Note that these are just things that happened since the fight about the food. When one of her nieces had a quinceañera, I kept calling it a sweet 16. She said she explained to me multiple times that they were different, had different meanings, differed cultural significance, and had different practices. She said I still called it a sweet 16 when I would talk to people about it or mention it. She said I also embarrassed her at the party because she felt that I was making fun of how her relatives were dancing. I, to this day, sometimes call her Spanish instead of Hispanic, Latina, a Mexican. She said there is a big difference and me slipping up and forgetting is BS. When she was pregnant with the twins, I told her she could give them names that are pronounced in Spanish so that her non-English speaking family could say them easily, and also since they are half Mexican. We agreed that she could, so long as I could choose which name was final. She said that I have not held up my end of the deal, and that when we were at Christmas with her family in December, I, obsessively, corrected her family members when they pronounced our daughter's name Elena, and kept saying it, Elena. According to her, I did this more than 6 times that night and she stopped keeping count. I didn't let her feed our kids some Mexican stew she had made because it looked spicy. I genuinely thought it was. She said she told me she hadn't used spicy peppers, but that night I fed them something else before the soup was done, and she said I disrespected her and her parenting skills. She feels like she is not allowed to listen to her music/any Spanish music because I will complain or change the song. She said she can only listen to her music when I am not home, otherwise I will always change it within a few seconds. She said there were other smaller examples, but these are the bigger ones that she had already mentioned/brought up before and nothing had changed. When I asked her why she stayed with me for so long or why she didn't mention these things more, she said that she's always had low self-esteem and she thought that I was a good person/partner other than these things, so she always talked herself out of a breakup, but she was just over it now. The things she listed off really opened my eyes and made me realize how selfish and unaware I've been, and I know that I need to change. I apologize to her and I know it won't change her mind, but that's okay. I just want her to know that I do regret my actions. I'm not going to ignore her or gray rock her like some people were suggesting, as I want to remain amicable for our children. I want us to have good communication, as I don't want our kids to grow up with parents who hate each other and can't have a simple conversation. Thank you to everyone who left comments, especially the ones who were harsh. I also want to correct a typo in my last post where I said we were going to get married in October of 2023. It should have read October of 2022.